It is I, Brenda. Today I'm going to be showing a little bit of arts and crafts, my mental health art journal. A couple of people have been asking to see them, so I'm going to try to show what I can here. The light, I'm using the light from outside because we don't have that much light in our living room, so I'm trying to do this as quick as possible before the light disappears. It's very cloudy outside. My sister Jolene had given me this little booklet of papers that are kind of made from file folders, I believe. And what I did with this was I made it into an ephemera holder. Ephemera being just little bits and pieces that you use in your art. What I did was I had glued on some lace to the front and back cover. Well, it was all one piece, like that, and I glued with Fabri-Tac. I used that as the glue base. Very sticky because the lace is very thin, but I glued it all on, and then I painted it all over with black gesso, and then I painted on a ribbon, a cloth ribbon she had given me. I glued both the ends so that they wouldn't fall apart. I also glued in after the first page, I glued in some yarn to use as a divider or whatever you want to call that. I also I also painted the inside black gesso and sprayed some with distressing spray on it. I used coffee stained paper for the background and the pocket here to hold some of my ephemera. I used a sheet of paper. I'm not exactly sure what type of paper. I also distressed around the edges of some of the pages, and I used some more coffee stained paper. A lot of papers that she had given me. This one was out of a garden book. This picture came from my daughter Crystal, so I used that for a pocket or a slide-in piece. This came from my sister's book. She also gave me this. She also gave me this, which I tore part off and distressed, and part of a map piece. I thought the postcard would be great with the map. I used another map piece I had to go with the map that she gave me. Some more written paper. I used music paper that she had given me. This middle page is actually a bag that my daughter Crystal gave me, so I used that. And this picture also came from my daughter Crystal, so I used those. I hope I'm showing this okay. Some paper I had. More maps. This paper came from, I believe, my sister Jolene, and so I just stuck it in there on the garden book page. My sister gave me the butterfly, so I just glued that in for a tuck spot. My daughter Crystal gave me this, I believe, so I just glued it onto the paper, and then the last page, some of the ephemera that my sister gave me. And that's what I had created for an ephemera holder. The book pages were fairly thick, as you can see. This is how you glue it together, and they're fairly thick, so I thought, oh, that'd be perfect for holding ephemera. Now, this is my, I'm sorry the lighting isn't that well, but this is my art journal, my mental health art journal, and this is the lace that I used on the other booklet. I just painted over this one. This one I left white. I kept the picture that was on the front of the book because I liked it, and I glued the lace down, and I kind of distressed around the edges of the picture and sprayed with the glittery distressing spray. I also added some yarn or yarn, I don't know exactly what you would call it, pieces to the side of the spiral, just as decoration. And that way I glued a little piece there, and this way it moves when I open the booklet. And I'm sorry this is such an angle that it's hard to see. Oh. And I did a swatch of all the paints that I have, the iridescent pearlized paints and the regular watercolor paints. And then I just did lines of the regular watercolor paints. I did glue some papers along the edge here, and that kind of also gave me an idea of painting on paper. The color changes rather than just a smooth white piece of cardstock, I guess you could call it. So paper is darker, cardstock is lighter. This page here, all I did was I painted with black gesso, painted my hand with white gesso, did my handprint on the page. I wrote stop and think, with Sharpie pen. And I wrote that because a lot of times I jump into anxiety, irritation, upset, and I need to, at those times, stop and just think things through before I speak or before I do anything. It helps me to gain control of my emotions. This page I did as my cup overflowing. It says connecting to yourself and your own needs, accomplishments, self-worth, motivated, positive focus, good deeds, pleasure, passions, hope, goals, following your joy, happiness and joy, movement, progress, values, communication, hope again, and that is my comfort food, is my cup overflowing. This is to remind me that I do have good things in my life. Everything isn't falling apart. It's to remind me of what's happening good in my life. This one got the idea off of a meditation called I'm a Mountain, or Mountain Meditation, that I can weather any elements. New beginnings are not the end of the world, not to be afraid of, just so that I can realize that I am like a mountain. Things can happen around me without me having to panic about everything, or worry about everything. Things will happen and I can withstand it. I can take it, and that's what this page is for. Now this is a double page, and I liked the little woodland creatures that this artist makes, and I felt that would be a nice art project. Let me see if I could get it all in there. It says you're never too old for fairy tales, and this is just a joy pleasure page. I made little tags out of some of the things that this artist had made. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of the artist. On this one I wrote, you are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream, by C.S. Lewis. On the back of this one I wrote, remember, you're the one who can fill the world with sunshine, and that was something Snow White said in the movie. So that's a double page. These 2 pages, I went to the Bisbee Annex Library, or the Library Annex, sorry, Bisbee Library Annex, and they had like a little art thing going on, so me and my sisters had joined that day, and I had made these. I brought the pictures with to glue down, and then they had some that I used. And this says, creating takes courage. Everything you create reveals a little or a lot about yourself. Be brave and go for it. And then I wrote a little snippet that these 2 pages were what I made at the Library Annex. I wrote down a grateful page, things that I'm grateful for. This one was just breathing exercise. There you go. So I created a page for that, and I can read that to remind myself to do deep breathing exercises when I am anxious or stressed. It says tune into what feels best for you. Here's another double page. And this is things I enjoy. So I made a whole list to remind myself of things that I enjoy, or things that I could do to get out of my own head. Places to go, just things to do that would make me happy. I made this page just for pleasure. I actually did a whole page, collage page, so this is a snippet of that collage page. Drew some flowers, painted them out. I love the oranges and the reds, and the fall colors seems to be my favorite. And then this one was my top 5 values at this time. It says real strength lies in being able to yield when necessary, while understanding and staying true to your own core values, and to nurture these. Nurture my values. Then I made a collage page just for fun. And I felt that these pictures to me were beautiful, and that I should nurture what I like and reflect on things that give me pleasure and joy in the world. And then this is the last page I have worked on. This is our best friends. It says every blondie should have a brownie. My best friend's hair is brown. Mine is a blondish color, more gray now, but it was blonde. And it also says the grand essentials of happiness are something to do, something to love, something to give, and something to hope for. And that was by this particular person. So I did a best friends page collage, kind of like. And that is it for my art journal right now, my mental health art journal, and my ephemera book. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.